Oh god, hell.
Man, you ask a lot of questions.
I'm a kid, I'm allowed to. I'm a kid, that's my
There it
job.
is.
I'm a kid,
There
that's
it
my job.
is. How many times I say you're just a kid? No, no,
No, I'm not fucking
no,
4 years old though, am
no,
I?
no, no. No, you just said it out loud. Thank you very much.
No, you not see that. No, it was like.
Yeah, no,
No,
it's too late. You can't
No, I
backpedal
got
now.
that
It's
from a
too late.
movie. I got
Too
that from a
late,
movie.
bro. Too
I got
late.
that from a movie. It was like this guy.
Too late. Too
It's called
late.
Uncle Buck,
No. Oh,
and
that's
it
a
was like
classic movie.
it had the guy from
That's a
Home
classic
Alone.
American movie.
It had the guy from Home Alone, and the guy was like, "Oh, he has so many
The
questions,"
dude
and he
from
just.
Home Alone was not in Uncle Buck. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he was.
Macaulay Culkin was not in
I
Uncle
swear
Buck.
to God, he was. I swear on my life. He goes, and then Uncle Buck
He
goes.
wasn't even born when Uncle Buck came out, dummy.
It was
Shut the
probably the
fuck
remastered.
up.
It's probably the remastered one or something like. I don't fucking know. Like the better version or something like.
No, shut up.
And
Just
and
shut
guy
up.
goes,
Just no, no.
and the guy goes, "Oh, you asked so many questions," and Macaulay Culkin goes, "I'm a kid. That's my job."
Yeah,
So
that's Home Alone.
I
That's
would
not
just.
in Uncle Buck. He wasn't even
I'll look up the
born when
fucking clip now. Like,
Uncle Buck was made in like 1979,
yeah,
1980,
Macaulay Culkin.
right?
Macaulay
Macaulay Culkin wasn't even born yet, bro. Fucking retard.
Uncle Buck. Let's
Echo,
see.
when was Uncle Buck released?
He's fucking in the. He's in the fucking picture.
Uncle Buck was released on August 16, 1989.
1989. Echo, when was Macaulay Culkin born?
He was like 3 years old in this or something.
Wikipedia.org. Macaulay Carson Culkin was born on August 26th in the Manhattan borough.
No way, bro. I live in a fucking alternate universe. Uncle Buck was not 9 years old
And I'm the
when...
retard. And I'm the
No,
retard.
because Home Alone... He was fucking 8 years old in Home Alone. He couldn't have been in Uncle Buck and Home Alone at the same
Look it
time
up.
when those were like 10 years apart for movies. Bro, what the fuck? Where am I, bro? What the fuck parallel universe is this shit, bro?
I'm looking at the cast right now. It says John Candy, and then look what it says beside him. Macaulay Culkin. Macaulay Culkin.
I gotta get out of here, bro. I gotta get out of here, bro. I need my spaceship to come pick me up. This is some bullshit. This place is all fucking twat.
Macaulay Culkin.
Dude, I watched Uncle Buck as a kid when I was a kid. Like, kid. Like, Uncle Buck for me in my timeline, I was like 7, 8, maybe 10 years old. That was like 1984, okay? So there's no way I could have watched Uncle Buck when I was 10, right? And then Macaulay Culkin be born 4 years later, and then Uncle Buck gets re-released with Macaulay Culkin. That's not possible, bro.
It is possible, lad. You just don't remember.
No, it's
like,
not.
It's
No,
dementia. You get it when you're old.
Here's the thing. When I was 34 years old, I was murdered, and then I just woke up.
Oh,
And then I was in a, no, for real talk.
Yeah,
I was
really.
murdered. No, real talk. The dude ran me over at 40 miles an hour on a road.
Macaulay Culkin was born.
No, and I stood up, and the cop was like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "You're supposed to be dead," and I wasn't. I was like, "No, I'm not." And then he freaked out. I had
So
a
he
bunch of
didn't
people
die.
come to my house. I had a bunch of people come to my house. Yeah, I didn't have a scratch. I should have been fucking hamburger. But I didn't have a scratch. And even my
Hamburger.
clothes, my
fucking
clothes look like I just put them on. And then ever since that
Yeah,
day,
you got hit by a car,
every fact that I know about the world has changed. No, so for me, where I came from, okay, the German Berlin Wall came down in like 1979.
Yeah, I'm not fucking old enough to know that one.
I was born on a military base. I lived in Germany when I was 4 years old, and the reason why I was in Germany at 4 years old in 1978 was because my mom was in the Army, and she was the secretary, and we were there to, like, be there when the wall came down, so we were on, East Germany, West Germany, that whole thing. And so then I remember growing up watching, like, the news with the whole, like, blah, blah. I was like, I was there, because I watched the news from my grandparents' fucking living room out on the farm. We went through Christmas and Thanksgiving in, like, 1980s on up. But now, if you research when the Berlin Wall came down, they're like, it came down in 1989. No, that would have made me like 15, 16 years old. No, I didn't live in Germany when I was 15, 16 years old. I lived in Germany when I was 4. That's how I know. The accident that killed me, I did, wherever I was, I died. I was ran over, 40 miles an hour, fucking done. The only thing is, I stood up and was fully whole, not a scratch on me, in a different universe. And now I'm in this place. And this place
top
is
10
fucking
things that
weird.
didn't happen.
I'm telling you, I would not lie to you, child. All I know is, just like your Uncle Buck. Uncle Buck, for me, where I came from, was when I was a kid. I was like not even 10 years old. Uncle Buck, John Candy, right? But now you're telling me it happened in 1989. I was fucking, in 1989, I was a teenager. Uncle Buck came out when I was a kid.
You
For
couldn't
me.
know that, though. Like, what?
Right, Macaulay Culkin was like Home Alone a decade later. But now that, like, Macaulay Culkin's in fucking Uncle Buck, get the fuck out of here, bro.
No, Macaulay Culkin could have been in fucking Thing. That makes no sense.
No, you just said the years, or no.
He can't
I
be
heard
in Thing 10 years
Look,
later. He would have been like 14.
Look, the universe is malleable. It's flexible.
Was it not like the Mandela effect or something?
Parallel universes are infinite. I know I died. Look, I'm just saying. I had to deal with it for 20 years. Now I'm just over it. I know what happened. I fucking died.
You're
And now I'm here. And I'm totally okay with it. I'm fine. Here is here. I was there. Now I'm here. It's cool.
Good on you, sir.
No, literally, the detective that fucking showed up at my house the next day started bawling in my fucking kitchen. And I said, what?
Bawling in your kitchen.
She came to take pictures of the damage to my body. And when I showed her my clothes and my body, she started bawling.
She just started fucking shooting hoops? Is that what
she started crying, bro. Look, her name is Tammy. She still works for the Fargo Police Department. She's in an evidence room now. She controls the evidence room. She started bawling. And I said, what's wrong? And she says, I don't know how you're alive.
Started shooting hoops, yeah.
Yeah, no, literally, because she came from the vehicle that hit me, right? She saw the fucking damage to the vehicle from my body. She knows that she knew they did a.
She hit you, so she's the one that hit you.
No, they did the whole fucking where the car was, the brakes. They did the investigation, right?
You got hit by
and
a
they were
car.
like, there's no way this guy is not Hamburger. In fact, when I stood up and tapped the cop on his shoulder, he turned around and looked ghost as white. He looked at me and was like, and then the ambulance showed up with no sirens. I was dead, bro. They had me dead, bro. I was dead.
Well, is there any context to the story?
And then when the cop, I said, if I'm fucking hit by a truck, how am I standing here? He didn't have an answer, and then the dispatcher on the fucking his microphone was like, what? Yeah, the ambulance showed up with no sirens, bro. 2 o'clock in the morning. I was dead, bro. I was Hamburger, bro. But all of a sudden I wasn't. And then I said, well, what the hell? He said, well, somebody saw it happen and they sat with you. And I went, who? And they looked up and there was nobody there. Like somebody laid with me while I was on the ground, and then they just miraculously disappeared. There's no record of their evidence. There's no record of their testimony. They didn't hold that person for a witness. If that was a witness, the cop would have been like, you can't go nowhere because you have to do a report. None of that happened. The cop looked up and was like, I don't know where they went. Like, what do you mean you don't know where they went? So you're telling me there's a witness that just fucking murdered me and you have no idea where they are, and the ambulance shows up with no fucking lights, and it's calm as day, and you're shitting your pants right now.
Oh,
Detective in my house the next.
so the
Yeah,
guy that
no,
hit you,
I'm dead,
the guy
bro.
that hit
I'm dead.
you,
I died.
fucked
I
off.
gave my dues, bro. This universe is parallel universes, bro. You don't
So the
die,
guy that
bro.
hit you fucked off somewhere, yeah.
Oh, he lost his mind. He's a friend of mine.
What?
He lost his mind. He lost his mind because he knew he killed me. He said, I saw your brains. I saw your body bloody. I saw you dead. Yeah, he lost his mind. They had to put him in a hospital for a few months.
Wait, so you're fucking speaking out your ass right
I'm
now,
not
aren't you?
fucking, I wish I was lying to you. I'm not.
You said that he got up and fucked off somewhere, and now you're saying, oh, he's my best friend. Like,
No, he was the person who hit me was a friend of mine.
and he laid down beside you and then ran off.
No, that was some witness that showed up out of nowhere. And then when I talked to the cops,
So
they're
he
like,
didn't murder you.
yeah,
The guy didn't murder you. He just fucking
you're not
sat there.
listening.
I'm
Somebody
sitting. Trust me.
somebody witnessed the accident. From the cops' perspective, the cops said when they showed up, there was somebody laying with me in the road, right? But when I got up, from my perspective, when I got up and tapped the cop on the shoulder because he was standing on the road waiting for the ambulance, he turned around and went ghost white. I watched the blood from his face leave immediately. And then he stuttered a bunch of shit, got on his mic and was like, he's up, he's up, he's up. And I heard dispatch go, who's up? And the dispatch was like, and then he goes, the accident that I'm at, where this guy just got hit by a fucking truck.
No,
And then she goes, what? And then, like, all of a sudden the ambulance pulls up with no sirens, and he's looking at me like, So then the ambulance gets out, and they're like, come with us. And I'm like, I ain't going with you. Fuck you. Well, you got hit by a vehicle. I was like, no,
Where
I
the
didn't.
fuck is your mum and dad? Like,
I was
obviously not
of
fucking
age. I lived on my
responsible enough
own.
to
They
not get
weren't
hit by a
nowhere to be
car.
around. My mom, I don't have a dad. My mom was in West Fargo, a different town aside from my town. And she wouldn't have known I was 20. Well, my son was 2 years old. So that was 20.
So you weren't even a kid. You're just fucking what?
I was 20. So yeah. So
Rolling
like.
in the middle of the road
So
for
when
no
I
reason.
asked the cop, I said, "What the fuck?" Because when I woke up, I had a jacket over my face. All I remember was I got cold. I woke up cold as fuck. I realized I was on fucking asphalt, and I lifted my arm and I pulled a jacket over my face, and I was like, I'm in a fucking, why am I laying in the street? So I got up, walked over to the cop who was in the middle of the intersection with his back to me, and I tapped him on the shoulder. And when he turned around, he fucking all but fainted.
Nah, I heard you say this. Like, I'm just saying.
Right? Okay, so the next day, so that night when I didn't take the ambulance, he was like, you can't leave. I'm like, well, I'm not taking the ambulance because that's gonna cost like $1,200. I don't have. So then a bunch of other cops showed up, and they were like, we'll take you to the hospital. So I went to the hospital. I got in the car with the cop. He took me to the hospital. I had a fucking, like, 6 more cop cars were behind us. We went to the hospital. I walked in, and they were like, can I help you? I'm like, I'm not with these fuckers. So they're like, well, we can't admit you if there's nothing wrong with you. I said, exactly. And then I turned to the cop. I was like, can I go home now? So they were like, so then they gave me a ride to my house, and then they all got in the line, and they came, like, literally, like 8 cop cars, followed me to my house. They walked me into my kitchen to my girlfriend. My son was 2, and she comes running out of the back bedroom like, what the hell? She's freaking out, like, what is going on? Why are these cops? And I'm like, they told me I got hit by a truck. I didn't get hit by no truck. Mind you, I literally there is not a tear in my clothes. I literally look like I just left the house. And they just stood in my kitchen looking at me like I was fucking Jesus Christ. Right? So then I'm like, where's Caden? My son, KDN. And she's like, he's in his crib. He's in his crib. So I look in his bedroom and he's sleeping. And then I look back at the cops, and I'm like, thank you for getting me home safely. I apologize, and they just left. They didn't know what the fuck to do. So then the next day,
Oh my
Tammy,
god.
who was a detective at the time, she calls me. She's like, I need to come. Can I come to your house to take pictures? I just came from the vehicle that hit you. Because he was busted. Like, he was busted. He turned himself in. He went laces out. He lost his fucking mind. He ran to his parents' house, confessed to killing me. He told his roommate he killed me. He went laces out. He was like, his blood and his brains were all over. I killed Pocket. I killed Pocket. I killed Pocket. So his parents ended up calling the police department and were like, yeah, my son is the one, blah, blah, blah. So he has no idea I'm alive, right? So the detective calls and is like, okay, so we have one man that is in Prairie St. John's, which is a psych hospital, because he lost his mind, right?
Yeah.
Can I come to your house and take pictures of damage? Because I'm at the car where he hit you. I've taken pictures of the vehicle. I've taken pictures of the fucking place where he hit you. I have it all fucking, and now I need to come to you to take pictures of you. So she comes to my house, and she's looking at me like, where's the damage? And I'm like, well, here's the jeans I was wearing, here's the clothes I was wearing, and mind you, there is not a scratch on my face. I have no road burns, I have no broken bones, there's literally, as I'm sitting here today, I was talking to her as today. And as she's trying to take pictures, she starts bawling, bro. She's literally started crying. And I said, Tammy, what's wrong? And the reason why I know her name is Tammy, because before she was a detective, she was a beat cop. And when I was young, growing up on Broadway, when we all getting in trouble, she was one of the beat cops. So we got to all know each other kind of thing. So she knew who I was already. I knew who she was. She's now a detective. She's looking at me, and she's bawling. I said, what is going on? She's like, she looked up at me, and she goes, Jonathan, I have no idea how you're alive. She showed me pictures of the vehicle, okay? The bumper was caved in. The hood had an indent from my shoulders and the back of my head. Mind you, when I was in the car, because, let me back up. I was with him in the car before he hit me. So, basically what happened was, we got into an argument in the vehicle. He told me some shit I didn't like. I started kicking his ass, punching him in the face while he's driving. He slammed on the brakes. My forehead shattered the fucking windshield where I was sitting. Then I got out. He told me to get out. I got out of the vehicle, started walking. He drove off, did a U-turn, and just fucking hit the gas. Okay? So
Wait. So
yeah, he was all coked up. So yeah, he was somebody I knew, right? He did it on purpose. This is why he flipped the fuck out, okay? It's because I was kicking his ass in the car. Like, he said some shit that was totally fucked up. While he was driving and I was in the passenger seat, I looked at him and I couldn't believe he said it to me, so I just started punching him in the face while he's driving. So he slams on the brakes, my face, because I didn't have a seatbelt on, my fucking face hits the windshield, boom. I remember sitting back looking at the windshield, and it's busted from my face, right? And then he's like, get the fuck out. So I got out, and I started walking. Apparently, because I have no memory of it, he turned around, he like drove off, did a U-turn, and then just hit the gas and hit me at 40 miles an hour, center grill. Okay? So, flash forward, I'm in the street, I'm cold, I got this fucking jacket over me, I get up, I pull the black jacket off me, get up, walk over to the cop that's standing in the middle of the road, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I tap him on his shoulder, and he turns around and is like, and I watch his soul leave his fucking body. This is how I know. And then the ambulance shows up, no sirens, no nothing. They pulled up like they're just coming to pick up a dead body, right? Only thing is I'm not fucking dead. So now back to the story. Tammy's in my kitchen. She's bawling, and I'm like, what? She's like, I don't know how you're alive. I don't know how you're alive, right? So she shows me her fucking digital camera, and I can see the damage where my body hit the bumper, because the bumper is caved in. The hood, where my back and my shoulder blades hit the hood, it was caved in. You can see where my face hit the windshield from when I was in the car, and he slammed on the brakes, and I shattered the windshield from him slamming on the brakes. All those things are there. The only thing is there's not a scratch on my body. No road burn, no bumps, no scratches, no broken bones,
video,
no nothing.
did it show,
No,
like,
I'm
your
telling you the truth.
brain being
I'm literally
splattered?
telling you the truth. I'm
Did it show your
telling you,
brain
it
being
is exactly.
splattered, though?
I'm telling you exactly what happened, literally to the T. If you can't believe it, I understand. I haven't had it yet. I have not met a person to this day that can swallow this story, but it's the truth, right?
I believe you.
So when you talk about resurrection and all that, like Jesus Christ, dude, resurrection, been there, fucking done that. Been there, done that. Fucking literally, it's not what it's cracked up to be. Nobody believes you. Everybody acts fucking weird, and everybody who knows that fucking story of me treats me different ever since then. You should have seen the look that the cops gave me, dude. They looked at me like I was fucking the devil, bro. They couldn't make sense of it. They literally followed me home. I had a caravan drive me to my house, pile into my kitchen, stare at me like I was fucking, like I had fucking 14 arms and 13 legs, bro. This detective come to my house, starts bawling like, I've never seen, like, how does nobody survives this? Then it took me 2 years psychologically to accept the fact that I'm actually alive. Because the evidence of not only his testimony, but seeing the vehicle, knowing everything that's happened, there is no way I should be alive. There's no, it's an impossibility when it comes to the parameters of what we think is reality. There's no way. I mean, it's one thing if I would have broken some bones or I recovered from critical damage, or, worst case scenario, I should have been head to toe in road rash, right? It was a truck, center grill, 40 miles an hour, no brakes.
Oh, so it's a truck.
I should have had flesh hanging off my fucking body, bro. Okay? No, not a drip of blood, not a scratch, not a bump, not a bruise. I'm like, well, my knee kind of aches, but it always aches in the wintertime. And that's when she started bawling. And then she showed me the pictures. And this truck is clearly fucked up from my body. And I'm looking at myself going, I didn't get hit nobody no truck, because look at me. I'm just like, I'm talking to you like I would have been talking to anybody yesterday before it happened. Ever since, literally, like, my whole world is weird, bro. People fuck with me, cops fuck with me, they don't fuck with judges fuck with me, they don't fuck with me. They all look at me weird, and they just fucking, like, they know something I don't. I'm telling you, parallel universes exist, bro. I died. Wherever I was, dead. I was dead. Clearly, somewhere in the universe, I am no longer here. Somewhere, wherever I was, I died. People they mourned my death, and they've moved on, and that is a place where I no longer exist. And now I'm in this fucked up place. And y'all are batshit crazy, so I just sit back and play video games. I'm 51 years old. Fuck you guys. This place, you guys have no idea. You guys have no idea what you're up with. When people like talk about death, you don't die. Trust me, you don't die. You just go somewhere else. Trust me, been there. You just go somewhere else. I'm telling you.
Wait, so is it like the same life? Like, you still had your child and shit?
Everything is the same, but things are different. Like, it's off. It's like, I can tell this isn't the same place. Everything is virtually the same, but things like Mandela effects. And the fact that I remember Germany, the German wall came down in 1978, 79. Well, where we are now, the wall came down in like 1986, 87. Because I was in Germany as a base brat at 4 years old when that came down. And now apparently where I'm at now, it came down in like when I was 15, 16 years old. No, I never lived in Germany in 15, 16 years old. I have memories of spending Christmases and Thanksgivings at my farm with my grandparents in the early 80s watching news talk about just few years ago when the Berlin Wall came down and Germany made their fucking blah blah. Yeah, but in this reality, it came down in like 1986. Well, I would have been like 15 years old, 13, 14 years old. It's not, it's just different. It's just, clearly there are parallel universes. Clearly nobody really dies. You just shift from one to another. Clearly. Because the story, I'm not making any, this is the facts. I'm telling you exactly what happened to me. I don't give a fuck if you don't believe me or not. I don't even care. I don't care if you believe me or not. It makes no difference. I know what happened to me. I know what I went through. You can go to the Fargo Police Department, get my fucking police report. It's all fucking there. It's all there. It's all there. I'm telling you. I'm like not even lying to you. There's no. So either I'm Jesus Christ or there are parallel universes. One of the
I
two.
want to say
Because
Jesus Christ now.
I'm telling you. You know, so when I watch, well, Jesus Christ was resurrected, and I think to myself, oh yeah, that would have been pretty strange for them back then if they killed him and then he just got up out of nowhere and he was alive again. That sounds strange before I got hit and killed, but now I'm like, oh, well, I guess I can see how that happens. Been there, done that.
So you think you're Jesus Christ?
No, I don't think Jesus Christ was I think Jesus Christ was just some dude. You people made him a big deal.
What do you mean?
He didn't think Jesus Christ didn't think he was a big deal. He never claimed to be a big deal. In fact, all he claimed to be was a carpenter, and he had some knowledge.
He was a teacher or something like that.
And that was it. Yeah, he never, in his life, from his perspective, back then when he was alive, he wasn't Jesus Christ. Oh, he was just some dude, right? They killed him. He woke up a couple days later and they're like, oh my God, we have proof you were murdered. Well, look, I have no scratches, right? He wasn't Jesus Christ then. He was just some dude. And I'm telling you, literally went through the same fucking thing. So when people sit there and talk about Jesus Christ, I'm like, I roll my fucking eyes. Like, oh yeah, really? He was just some fucking dude. Clearly it happens. So I can't be the only person this happened to. He's not the only person it happened to. It probably happens to all of us.
So you think I'm some guy that died?
I think that if something unfortunate happens to you where you are killed and you're not supposed to be killed, you get a choice to not be killed, and then you just wake up and you're fine. And you're just in a different version, a parallel. Dude, quantum, we're all learning about quantum. We're all learning about reality and the infinite possibilities of reality and quantum physics. For all we know, if it's not your time to go because you don't want it to be and you die without accepting death, then you don't die. You just wake up in a version that's basically the same, maybe a little different, but you're still here. You might have left your life somewhere else, but now you're here now. I'm telling you, I did it, bro. I literally went through it, bro. Give me a polygraph, I swear to God. Hook me up to some fucking lie detectors, call the detectives, fucking pull the fucking police report. I ain't fucking lying, bro. That shit actually happened. I have not a single mark from that accident, and I should have been fucking hamburger. The car, literally, the whole front end of the Jeep, it was a red Jeep, totaled. I looked, the pictures, you can't, dude, and I tried to convince myself that it was a fluke for years, but then the only thing I could never get out of my head was the fact that before I even got out of the vehicle, I remember my face hitting the windshield. I remember it, because I remember it. I was eyes forward. Boom, he hit the brakes. My face hit the windshield. I remember sitting back being dazed, looking at the fucking face print on the windshield from my face hitting it before I got out of the truck. So there should have been at least some fucking road burn or some glass in my face or scratches from the fucking glass on my face because I put a face plant. None of that either. None of that. I literally stood up out of the street looking as if it was just any other day. It was wintertime. The roads were full of ice and grease. My clothes were still clean even, bro. There was no grease on my clothes. They weren't wet. There were no scratches in my jeans or my shirt. There was no tears. None of that. I brought her. That's what made her cry, because when I pulled out my clothes and was like, here's the clothes I was wearing, she looked up at me and she started bawling, bro. A detective that was once a B cop that used to try to take me to jail when I was 15, 16 years old, right? Now is bawling in my kitchen. It took me a lot of years to, like, not lose my mind, okay? Trust me. I went through some psychological, like the first year was hell. Because every second of my life was like, where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Is this real? Where am I? Where am I? I should be dead. I'm dead. I should be dead. You know what I'm saying? The brain has to catch up. Year 2, I was like, well, I'm here, I guess. Oh, what the fuck? Waiting for aliens and spaceships to just show up out of nowhere. You have no idea how hard it was for me to keep from losing my mind over this. I was able to contain it. I was able to just come to terms with it. And now I'm fine. Fuck you people. You guys have no idea what's going on there. I'm telling you. You guys, I don't think there is anything such that, either we're in a simulation or, you know, there's some fabric of quantum that, you know, just, I don't know what, all I know is it happened, it's real, nothing I can do about it, nothing I can do to change it, I'm alive. And that's weird.
Yeah,
and the only way I can relate with that is the Jesus Christ story, because that's the only other thing I know that in my knowledge that where that's happened, right? Like in my personal knowledge, the only human being I know of where that's happened to was this dude named fucking Jesus. And then I tried to fucking deal with, well, you know, who was he? And I dug into his history, and I looked at Christianity and Islam and all that, and I came to the realization that, think about it, he wasn't the big Jesus Christ when he was living, right? He was just some fucking dude. He was just some dude who had an idea, who loved unconditionally, and he had some people that were willing to listen to him and hear him out, and they chose to follow him. He didn't claim to be nothing other than just some dude. He was a carpenter, that's it, raised by a couple of people, and that was it. And that shit happened to him too, from that perspective. All I'm saying, and what's coincidental is I am also a carpenter. So I'm like, you know, I think people, like, I think Jesus was just a dude, and he hates the fact that everybody made him a big deal. And I think that religion just made a big deal of it because back then they didn't know of quantum physics, they didn't know of quantum mortality, they didn't know that, you know, what we know today, right? Like, they didn't know any of that shit, right? So, like, to them back then, oh my god, but, like, what if he was just a dude that got fucking killed for no fucking reason, and because he was a decent person all the way through, he just got to get up and tap the cop on the shoulder and be like, I didn't get hit by no truck, because that's what I did. Right? Sure. So maybe in 100 years they'll be like, oh, John Buchan! Oh, John Buchan! Maybe in like 1,000 years they'll have a whole fucking cult of my own. I don't know. All I'm saying is it did happen, word for word. There's nothing I can say that I don't give a fuck if you care or believe me or not. I've told the story 100 times and nobody believes it, and I don't blame nobody for believing it because I wouldn't believe it. The only thing is it happened to me, dude, and there's nothing I can do about it. All I know is I got up out of a cold road, tapped a cop on his shoulder, watched a spirit leave his fucking face, watched an ambulance show up with no sirens, and then a witness that laid with me, that whoever that witness was probably an angel, put my brains back in my skull, because ultimately
said
at
it
the
was
end of the
okay.
day, somebody, I don't know who it was. The cop just said somebody called it in, they sat with me for a while, put a jacket over me, and sat with me for a while. And then again, you would think the cop would be like, I need to get a statement. There's no statement from this random witness. And then when I tapped him on the shoulder, the witness was not there. Gone. Zero. Nobody there. So if you think about it from a policing perspective, you would think that that witness would have been number one priority, right? Like, what did you see? Write it down. Who are you? Write it down. You can't go nowhere until we get the investigation going, yada, 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 because that's police procedure, right? No. By the time I tapped that cop on the shoulder, he didn't know where the witness went. What do you mean, cop? You let the only witness just drive away?
Well, how'd they know there's
Seriously?
a witness?
That's how that works? Nah, dude, because I was fucking dead. And whoever that was in the street with me was an angel or an alien. One of the two.
Alien.
How could you just leave? If I witnessed you get fucking ran over and the cop shows up and I saw everything, do you think they're going to let me leave without a statement? Do you think
No.
do you think that they're not going to have my name and court and witness saw this? He went to court. No witness showed up. There was no witness on the docket. How did that cop just let the witness just drive away?
So you're mad about
I'm telling you.
No.
I'm telling you, it was an angel, an alien, who fucking knows? All I know is I was not allowed to die that day. And now I'm stuck with you fuckers.
I don't know why you're saying it like if I'm your fucking enemy. Like.
True story. I haven't told that story in a while. Nobody believes it. I don't even expect you to believe it. You don't have to believe it.
Oh, no,
It's my truth. It's my truth. It did happen to me. I struggle with it daily. In fact, even to this day at 51, almost 51 years old, I still wake up in the morning going, where the fuck am I? To this day. Because it doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. To this day, none of it makes sense. You take a human being, put them in the middle of the road, take a vehicle, a Jeep Cherokee to be exact, let it back up 50 yards, hit the gas, and hit that human being at 40 miles an hour, 38 miles an hour to be exact. And we all know the result of what's going to happen. We all know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, what that body is going to look like. We all know it. It's not going to be pretty.
It's gonna be dead.
You're talking to me right now, bro. I didn't go through no ICU. I got up and walked and took my ass home. Took me to the hospital. Person at the hospital was like, can I help you? Do you think they would have said, can I help you if I had flesh hanging from my bones? Fuck no. I was like, I'm not with these fuckers. Because the cops were like, you gotta check in. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do. They were like, we gotta take him somewhere. We can't figure it out.
Probably
So
thought
when
you
I
had
got to the
brain
reception,
damage or something.
probably. You know? So I was like, no, but I was completely coherent, completely right here. And I was like, no, I ain't with these people. So they're like, so I walked back to the door, and I'm like, okay, so now what, right? Can you give me a ride fucking home? Because I was pissed. I just didn't believe it. I'm like, there's no fuck you guys. I'm going to get in trouble. My girlfriend's going to be pissed. My son's sleeping in his crib. I'm never going to hear the end of this bullshit. You guys are fucking twag. So we get in the car, start heading home. I look behind in the rearview mirror, and there's fucking 8 cop cars behind us, following me home. And then when they get out of the car, they all get out of the car, and they come into my kitchen, and they stand around like a bunch of fucking morons just looking at me like, man. So Linnell, my girlfriend at the time, my son's mother, she comes out of the back room like, what the hell? And she looks at me like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, these fuckers say I got hit by a truck. Do I look like I got hit by a truck? She's like, no, what? And they looked at her and they were just like, oh, ma'am, And I go, where's Caden? And she's like, he's sleeping in his crib. And I opened the bedroom door. I looked and saw him sleeping. And then, boom, I looked back at the cops, and then it all made sense. And I was like, you know what, guys? I just said, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I was an asshole. Thank you for the ride home. And they all just filed out like, what the fuck? And then the next morning, Tammy calls me and is like, Jonathan? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, can I come over? I gotta take pictures for evidence. And then you know the rest of the story. And that's the last time I've ever been able to... That's the last time it's ever... Like, he went to jail for like 4 months. He got stuck in a fucking psych ward for a couple months. His parents were like, bailed him out, paid all his fines, did all this. And I ran into him. I mean, I still know him to this day. I ran into him, and he's a different person.
Is he normal?
He's a... No, like, what's funny is, I ran into him a few years later, and he was very, like, different person. Like, it had to have changed him, because, like, apparently he went on to be, like, he went laces out for a while, so he partied too hard. He went out, he was hanging out with some natives. Like, a year later, somebody fucking rearranged his face so bad that he had to get reconstructive surgery. And then, like 6 months after that, or 8 months after that, like, his dad died. And then the night of his dad's funeral, he got drunk and got into another fight with somebody, some natives, and they, like, rearranged his face again, and he almost died. Like, so, like, the universe definitely got him back for what he did to me, because, like, he literally had his face reconstructed twice within, like, a few years after this accident. Like, just because apparently he didn't learn from it. And so the universe rearranged his face a couple times. So by the time I saw him, he was very humble. He was a completely different dude. Thankful to be alive. You know, like... Looked at it, yeah. He was a completely different person. I still remember running into his roommate, dude. His roommate, after he killed me, he ran home in a fucking panic, and his roommate was home upstairs. So he comes in the house screaming and yelling, losing his fucking mind. He was one of those kids that he had swords on the wall, like he had a samurai sword hanging on the wall. Apparently, he came home, picked it up off the wall, started swinging it, losing his mind. I killed Bakken! I killed Bakken! Oh, fuck it! I killed Bakken! And his roommate was upstairs. And his roommate
what does he mean he killed Bucket? Who's Bucket?
My last name is Bakken.
Oh.
Everybody, when I was a kid, everybody called me Bakken. My name is Jonathan, John Bakken, Johnny B. Bakken.
Oh, right.
So, like... He come home swinging the sword. Oh, I killed Bakken. I fucking killed Bakken. Oh, losing his mind. So, like, his roommate said to me, he was upstairs, and when he heard Casey was losing his mind, he literally hid up under his bed. Casey went upstairs, banging open the doors, looking for his roommate, and his roommate was hiding. He's like, dude, I was literally scared for my life. I just heard him say he murdered you, so I was hiding under the fucking bed, literally. And so when he fucking couldn't find his roommate, that's when he left his apartment and went to his parents' house and confessed all, and that's when they took him to the Prairie Psychiatric Ward or whatever that very night, right? So, but when I met his roommate, it was like a week later, and I'm at the bar, And I run across his roommate, and his roommate walks up and goes, "Holy fuck!" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I thought you were dead." Like, literally, I had to go through the whole fucking, or ran into somebody who completely thought I was dead. Like, "You're supposed to be dead." Like, yeah, no, well, I'm not. He's like, "Well, somebody tell that to Casey, because he's in the fucking psych ward." I'm telling you. This is facts, bro. Word for word. So, you want to know why I'm such a carefree 50-year-old man right now?
Why?
Because I don't give a fuck anymore, bro. It happened. I already paid my dues, bro. I watch nothing but adults run around this planet acting like children, bro. From politicians, lawyers, judges, doctors, you name it. Children. They all act like fucking children. They don't know what I know. I know this. So what am I going to do? I'm going to walk around this world acting like some fucking whatever? Fuck that, bro. It's all up to you to figure it out, bro. I'm going to enjoy my life. I'm a kid. I always was a kid. I was born a kid. I'll die a kid. I know how to adult. I know how to be an adult. I know how to act like an adult. I know how to talk to adults. But at the end of the day, what does adulting do? They act like morons. Adults act like morons. You get more intelligent out of a 5-year-old than you'll ever get out of any adults in any country, anywhere on this planet.
Seriously.
Adults seem to think that the amount of knowledge or books or words they read defines them as being smarter or better or more important. That's retarded. 5-year-olds have no problem. They'll tell you right to your fucking face. And they know it. Right? Like, you're born with intelligence, bro. It's they weed it out of you as you get older. They literally suck it out of you until you're this child adult. And you're nothing that you were when you got here. When we were children, we were young, we knew everything just by nature. We knew it. We knew we trusted what was right and wrong. We knew it would hurt. You know, all of those things. We knew those things without anybody telling us. And we survived. And then school, fucking adults, they just eat it out of you and they take it away from you so that you get older and become pieces of shit like them. Fuck them. Look around. Turn your fucking TV on. You think anything on this planet right now is normal when it comes to adults? Does any of that shit look normal to you? You got how many countries at war? How many men can't get along with each other from one country? You got NATO and fucking this and the CIA and the FBI and all this fucking bunch of fucking children running around like morons. Like, oh, I'm better than you. I'm better than you. Oh, I'll kill you. No, I'll kill you. We gotta go to war with you, and we gotta shut the fuck up. Figure, we're out in the middle of nowhere, bro. We're on a fucking little blue marble out in the middle of fucking nowhere, bro. Grow up. Literally grow up. And they don't. It's so fucking stupid to me, bro. Trump and this and your country leader and you fucking this and the fucking TV doesn't ever shut the fuck up and you got CNBC and CNN and BBC and like shut the fuck up, bro. Take your fucking costume off and shut the fuck up. Seriously, like get a fucking pair, bro. You guys can't get along? Literally, after all of these hundreds of thousands of years, we're still doing this? It's stupid. It's retarded. So if you think that I'm going to be anything like you, you're fucked.
Ugh.
Not going to happen. I'm going to stay a kid. I'm going to do what I got to do to make money and pretend to be an adult. and I'll pretend to make you feel you're important like you're not. And at the end of the day, I'm just gonna fucking, be the kid we all are anyway. Fuck 'em. I like video games. Fuck you. At least I'm not. At least I'm not out killing somebody for no stupid. I mean, you look at it. You got military men all up in these camo suits with their weapons, and they're like, sneaking through the trees, like fucking retarded, bro. Oh, I'm gonna get you. Oh, I'm gonna get you. Didn't we do that when we were kids? Like, Did you ever grow out of that? Oh, I'm gonna get you. Like, it's stupid. I'm gonna kill a bunch of you because you don't like us, and then you're gonna kill a bunch of you because you don't like that. You fucking religion. Fucking, don't even get me started on religion. Really? Oh, I'm gonna kill a bunch of people because of this religion. No, you can't do that. You gotta believe this. I'm gonna kill 1 million of you because it's fucking retarded. And those are adults, bro.
Yeah.
Those are adults, bro. That's the point. That's what we're supposed to do. I don't think I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I think that's retarded. It's completely retarded. It's fucking stupid. It really is.